To attach the black row counter to your bond knitting machine, the first thing you'll need to do is make sure your machine is not clamped down, because you need to attach the row counter before clamping down the machine. So the next thing you need to do is find a join in the needle bed, and if you look along the back rail that the carriage runs on, there's little notches or joins all along that back rail, and you need to put your row counter where these notches or joins are, because if you look at the row counter, there's two little feet on it, one there and one there, and in between those feet are these little notches, like where these plastic sections are cut out, and where these joins are on the needle bed, you follow it down to the bottom, there's the join, you'll see there's a little sticky out nub, and that nub has to sit in that notch there, otherwise the row counter will move about. And incidentally, you can put the row counter anywhere along the bed that you want to, where there's a notch or a join, which is handy for when you're shaping shoulders and things, where you have stitches set off to one side of the bed. So instead of bringing your carriage all the way across to trip the counter, you can put the counter right where those stitches are, which is a bit more convenient. So anyway, I'm going to put mine in the centre, so there's my 0 and there's my join. So I'm going to line it up, and I will sit, I will sit that little nub in that notch there on the foot of the counter, as you can see, hopefully. I'll sit it in there, like that. Once you've got it set in place, press on that join, and it clunks like that, and that nub will get clunked into that notch, and that will lock it in place, so that isn't going to move, that is fixed. And then you clamp your machine down, and that holds everything snugly in place. So if you were to put the counter in between two joins, like this, like that, then the row counter will move back and forth like this, as you can see. And there's nothing to stop it from sliding like that. So you need to have it so that that join sits in the notch there. It doesn't matter which one it sits in, but it needs to sit in that notch, like that. There we go. And then obviously you have to press on that join to clunk it in place like that, so it's not going to move. And that's how you properly attach the counter. And of course, tipping my bed forward has made some of these needles come out. So if you have the older bond carriage, the bond carriage with the wire fabric guide running all the way around the front, then you will need this little device, which is called a tripper spring. This comes with the counter, well, it used to do when the Bond Classic and Incredible sweater machine, which this model is, was on sale. So if you bought the optional row counter, you would have got this tripper spring with it, which you don't get this anymore when you buy the Ultimate Sweater Machine row counter, which is the same as this. But the reason you don't get that spring anymore is because the Ultimate Sweater Machine carriage, which is the purple one, that doesn't have this wire fabric guide running around it, that carriage has a little plastic protruding piece sticking out the back, which will trip the counter automatically when you attach it to the bed. And as you can see, these older Bond carriages with the fabric guide doesn't have anything sticking out which will trip the counter. So that was why they gave you this tripper spring and according to the instructions this attaches to the right hand side of the carriage. Needless to say, there are duplicate slots on each side of the carriage, so to me it doesn't matter which side it'll go on, but the instructions tell me to put it on this side, so that's what I'll do. So you need to have it so that the tripper spring, that the little circle piece there is facing outwards like that. So you just squeeze it together. I can grab hold of it. Squeeze it together like that and put it on the right side, and just squeeze it together and push it into the slot like that, and then once it's in the slot, pull up slightly and then push down and it springs into place, hence the name tripper spring. So now when you move the carriage along, that little circular piece hits that triangle thing and advances the counter like that. And of course, if you didn't have this piece fitted to these older Bond carriages with the fabric guide, if you put the counter on, nothing will happen. So if you're missing this spring, or you haven't got one, then you can make one from a big wire paper clip, or find anything that you can fix onto the back of the carriage that will trip this counter, that will hit this triangle thing but not interfere with anything else. Because if you have an incredible sweater machine and you buy the Ultimate Sweater Machine row counter, which is exactly the same as this one, it won't come with this spring, so you will have to make one because they don't sell them with this spring anymore. But anyway, hopefully this helps anybody that needs to that was wondering how to attach the Bond row counter. So yeah, thank you for watching.